And hello everybody, welcome to another Pokébeasts mini video, but this is a Mother's Day special, the first time I'm doing a video like this. Although admittedly it sort of feels like I shouldn't do this because a lot's been happening that's been interrupting me from doing this. Partially that admittedly is probably my fault because I left it a little last minute. But still, there's a lot that goes into a video like this, especially to make something so heartfelt for my mother, who I hope will enjoy this video. Speaking of which, shall we get started with it, shall we? In this video, we will be talking about a goat. Surprisingly, the only extinct goat on my list, and from what I found on Google for some reason, well, they are individual species, so I'll just be covering the Balearic Islands Cave Goat. Before you go away, this animal is more than what it would first appear. Trust me. The first remains first discovered in the cave of Muerta as bones, including an almost complete skull. They were even described as Dorothea Bate in 1909, who have been informed about the remains by Ashington Bullen. Now, the first thing to note is how the animal was found on a series of small islands in the Mediterranean Sea. Well, roughly 6 million years ago, the Mediterranean dried up, connecting the small islands to the mainland with huge deserts. Of course, some animals used this opportunity to cross these deserts to the islands. Eventually, about 170,000 years later, the ocean refilled, isolating the animals on the islands. Of course, this is where the animals adapted to the isolated islands, where there were less predators but also less food and space. So how did these goats adapt? The first noticeable physical trait these animals have are their eyes, which were forward-facing. This isn't something often found with herbivores, who usually have their eyes on the sides of their head, but is more common in most primates and carnivorans, which granted stereoscopic vision. The goats also grew smaller to reduce the amount of food they needed to maintain their body size. Their kids, aka baby goats, were only about the size of a rat. Their skulls show two incisors only on their lower jaws, which is commonly found in animals like rats and rabbits, but not other ungulates like cows or sheep. However, their other teeth consisted of molars and premolars, suggesting they grounded and crushed their food while chewing. Because of the lack of predators and the uneven landscape, the goats adapted with shorter legs, so they couldn't run at great speeds. The most unusual aspect of this animal was that it was cold-blooded, likely to save energy as there wasn't a lot of nutritious vegetation and mammals use up a lot of energy to maintain their body temperature and their high intelligence, which these animals likely were. This trait is never heard of in any mammal, so this is a quite unique exception. This is evidenced when looking at the inconsistent growths in their bones, which is found in cold-blooded animals like reptiles instead of warm-blooded animals like mammals and birds. The cave goat was not just the largest animal on the island, which isn't saying much, but one of the few animals apart from certain mice and shrews, which I believe the goats did prey on for extra nutrition, possibly explaining their forward-facing eyes. Both sexes have been found with short horns on their skulls, although they may have grown longer. Looking at some of the skulls on the males showing injuries, William Walden suggests that the male goats did fight each other during mating seasons but also likely defended themselves. The only predators that did prey on these animals were certain birds of prey, including the golden eagle. The cave goat would have defended against these predators by hiding in tall grass or defending themselves using their skulls and horns. What the heck did I get myself into? I thought this was just a normal goat, but instead I got a mouse goat mixed with a lizard and a dog. Still, it's amazing and an unappreciated animal that deserves more recognition. I mean, I haven't even made the Pokemon while writing this, so what can I do to make this fit with Mother's Day while still representing the subject in mind? Also, can I just say, I do hope this animal does officially get looked into by Game Freak for Scarlet and Violet, as I feel it would offer some interesting designs that I wouldn't even be able to professionally do. Anyway, let's see what this absolutely unusual goat would look like as a Pokemon. These little Pokemon tend to spend most of their days standing still. Despite this, they can be quite energetic. Their wool-like fur is very soft and cushiony. This is Kitney! Literally made to be adorable. I looked at Wooloo, Galarian Ponyta and Lillipup for reference as I wanted to add elements of dog and horse in its design, which I hope created something as original as Eevee. For stats, Kitney are surprisingly defensive but are slow and physically weak. For its abilities, we have Fluffy and Grass Pelt, both quite defensive abilities. Now, what would this adorable little kidney evolve into? Let's find out. Considered quite derpy, buckgoats tend to wander around, sniffing and eating whatever they find. They are quite social creatures and love hugs. I know, it's cheesy, but we need Pokédex entries like that, as there are a lot of darker ones, so these balance them out. Anyway, this is Buckgoat, who is meant to look somewhat goofy and subjectively ugly, but I hope its personality is its most endearing quality. I mean, I think it's kinda cute. I mean, I drew it to be partially cute, so I hope so. For stats, Buckgoat are even more bulky, but have greater speed. For its abilities, we have Chlorophyll instead of Fluffy, which makes sense, but we still have Grass Pelt as its hidden ability. So you have the option for speed or bulk, the latter being best with Buckgoat's defensive stats. Despite their strength to move 10-ton boulders, Balearics are incredibly gentle and kind-hearted. They are also incredibly huggable with their soft and fluffy mane. This is Balearics, and yes, I did emphasize the horse elements more with this design, and
isn't this just a monkey goat?
I hope you wouldn't have noticed. Yeah, it is. I only realised that after finishing it. I mean, it isn't exactly the same. Yes, it has the goat horns and the green pelt, but its form is more horse-like, and it even has fluffy feathers on its feet. Oh, and it has a fluffy moustache. Oh, and did I forget to mention it's pink?
This is something from my nightmares.
Why?
Because it's soft, green, and bigger than me. Just throw me into a Titan, and keep me away.
But you chose to appear on screen.
Yeah, cause I have a cooler voice than you. And I love taking the wee-wee out of your designs.
I'm just gonna go over the details now. And we'll talk later. Balearics is now a fairy grass type, which I feel Florges should have been, but whatever. So, fire isn't going to be kind to this Pokemon. For stats, Balearics are still bulky with decent speed. For abilities, they haven't changed, but I think it does benefit greatly from grassy terrain, I think. Okay, while a grass type move does have its power boosted by the terrain, they are further powered by stab. Other than that, its typing doesn't really benefit much from grassy terrain. I won't go into too much detail in the moves, but having Giga Drain would be amazing if Balearics has Grass Pelt as its ability, as it can restore a lot of health and deal quite a bit of damage. I mean, 100 base HP isn't something to scoff at. Anyway, some can't believe I'm saying this, but veterans of the channel might recognise what I'm going to be talking about. In this form, Balearics are able to care for spirits who are lost, guiding them into the afterlife. It also appears to those who are mourning over those they loved. Quite emotional, to be honest. Anyway, this mechanic has only been used once, and that was for the Plesiosaurus mini episode, who is available for a main video due to the change in the rules. I somewhat want to bring the mechanic back, as I do like it. It's not too overpowered or flashy like Dynamax, but it's fun like Mega Evolution. For the design itself, I wanted to do a Pegasus, but a ghostly one. Yes, I know it's a goat. For those who don't remember how bond forms work, I'll basically be explaining it while talking about details for this form. For stats, Balearics' 3 highest stats, excluding HP, its defense, special defense and speed increased by 25%, making it fast and quite a tank, especially as it's immune to normal, fighting and dragon type moves. For abilities, which is another differentiation from this and Mega Evolution, they stay the same. Onto moves, there are quite a few options, including powerful special moves, opposing status moves, and even moves for recovery. So, the bond form only activates when regular Balearics is on the field for 3 turns or if its HP is below 50%. So, if you want to activate this form as soon as possible without getting knocked out, setting up substitutes would be great, as you can set up a Calm for a defensive boost or set up a Wish without getting knocked out. Set up at least 2 of those substitutes and then you can recover with Wish, Mega Drain or Recover. Yes, I definitely suggest making this a speedy wall, as it can do well with stalling while whittling down your opponent. Of course, be careful of faster Ghost and Steel types, as they tend to hit hard and are quite fast. Here are the shinies. The bond form I feel mixed about as it looks like wee. Although I want to try and give it a golden sunlight colour. Oh, anyway, I wanted to show something additional about bond forms, which wasn't really a thing in the Plesiosaur video, but I wanted to try and differentiate even further. If you have a custom bracelet that reflects your character's hair and eye colour, you have this. Yes, the colours of the bond form do change, reflecting your character's style. I love this idea and I hope you guys do too. Obviously, this is based on me, the blue eyes and brown hair. I will send some custom ones to my mum, aunt and any other female relatives. But if you want your own one with a watermark signature, then please consider becoming a patron. I am recording this at the same time as all the other audio stuff, but that's just because I'm very tight on time. Like I said in the opening, there's just so little time. It's very last minute. It's very last minute of me to put this together. But when you want to do something really good, and also you got a lot of other projects to consider, there's a lot to think about. So I can understand why I left it last minute. Anyway, to my mother, aunt, and any other female relatives, elderly one, I don't think sisters count. Actually, no, my sister would count. I have to consider one for her. Anyway, happy Mother's Day to you all. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and let me know if you wanted me to do another one next year. I mean, that'd be cool. There are quite a few animals. I think this is the only goat. But yeah. Anyway, as I said before, if you want your own design, then please consider becoming a patron. There are other perks like having your name shown at the end of each video, some behind the scenes content, some early reveals, and chickens. No, I don't know why I said chickens. So if you want to support the channel, you can access it at the link below. Minimum cost is $1. Also, if you want to follow me on my other sites, then please do, that will really help. But for YouTube itself, don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you want to see more. And of course, if you want to be notified for any future videos, don't forget to click that bronze on. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and once again, happy Mother's Day. Or, if I release this late and I do just barely make it like after a few days, and oh, do you know what, never mind. In the past, present, or even future, I will see you there. Bye!